Alright, so you finally moved on from living atop of Ming's place, and you've decided to buy yourself the bungalow. But it's extremely daunting because of all the extra space and all the extra work you've got to do. But at this point, I think you now have the ability to hire people. And once you do go about trying to hire people, I've realized it becomes pretty complicated, and a lot of people are having some issues. So I'm going to try to help you set up your place so it automates a little more easily. So first off, obviously, you gotta make beds for your people. And if there's 5 people, that means 5 beds. You can also make a bed for yourself in this area too. I'm sure you'll be able to have the space. Probably make the beds like this, because you might want to put some shelves in here, but you don't need to. So I think it's easiest to consist of 1 person doing all the planting, and then you're gonna need 3 people throwing things around while this person cleans for her. Unless you don't want anybody cleaning, you could actually take out and put a mixer, but I'm not going to use this place for mixing, because mixing is also something that I find is for more late game, at least at the barn. You could be mixing on your own in, like, above Ming's place, or even at the motel. But yeah, so I'm just going to show you kind of like a basic rundown of how you can grow weed in this place efficiently and more or less automated. Let's get started, I suppose. All right. So I'm going to lay them all against the side of the wall. It doesn't matter. You can do it however you want. If you want to do a more clean or efficient way, I actually find using it, like having it just along this wall, is pretty clean. But I'm just going to show you how the kitchen works, or how you can do it in the kitchen. I don't know how it works. Garbage can just needs to hit the whole location, so putting it right in the center is pretty efficient. Get all these lights going. Again, I mean, I'm not making it look the prettiest. I'm sure you could make yours look better. You need to put the soil in all of them, but that'll come later. First off, you're going to want to set up the racks so that they can grab from them, as per usual. Because you'll see that when you go to assign this person, they have a supply rack. You can also give them items now in the hand, which is something I've never done actually. So anyways, so yeah, you'd set it up and you can make it so this is her supply rack. If you're doing it the same way as I am, that would be what I'm going to do here, so that she'll come and she'll grab any items that she was going to fill all 8 of these in with. May it be the soil, fertilizer, and your seeds. And I'll show you how to organize that afterward as well. So that's how it's going to be. We'll grab from that shelf. So we'll come in here. This is again how I'm going to set it up. You don't have to do the same thing. Your guys have ways to grab from the shelves without getting bundled up, so don't worry, they'll be able to grab from everything. If you ever see that they are glitched out, just save the game, quit out, load back in, and they should be fixed. If not, you might have to go about firing them, but that's not much. That doesn't happen very often. Most of the time you just have to quit out. Alright. We're going to have our handler, who's going to be doing specifically grabbing items for deliveries. This is for when you're actually like deep into the automating and you're not going to be, and you're going to just get delivery sent to you. Remember, delivery is more expensive. So give this guy a bed real quick. Set him up over there so I kind of know who I made in order. We'll give him a station later. First, we're going to make this the guy for the parking here. So loading dock 1. He will take the first amount of stuff that you'll always want to buy. So you're gonna want to kind of coordinate what you buy if you don't want to, if you want to automate it all yourself. So you put it all on the first shelf here. You grab the second one. So that's gonna be 8 items, right? So 80 items. Second one here, that's gonna be 1/6. So that's It's stacking 20, sorry. So that's 160 there, 160 here. So a full truck is 320. That would be a full truck right there. So you never want to empty the shelf here because that'll mess up the whole delivery line, and you'll have a whole... this will all be itemized the way you did not want it. Again, the game never actually fully automates itself. You're going to have to do some stuff, and there's probably even a better way than this, but this will just give you an idea on how you should always have your stuff set up, I think. Alright, so the first order of delivery that we want is obviously weed. We need the weed. So we're going to hit up Albert. We're just going to buy some OG stuff of 80 caliber. Because we just want to fill the first shelf. Wait. Yeah, and it only goes by, it only stacks by 10. So, and we're going to send that to the RV. I don't even know why it shows the destination as RV. To the bungalow. Loading dock. The only one. One. See, delivery fee is 200. It's actually not that bad when it comes to weed because you're already paying a crap load. So, boom. Send that over. So that's going to go. And it's going to get straight to the place. And as of now, the issue would be that all of the seeds would go onto the shelf. And the person that transferred it would transfer all of it over here. And that's not what we want, because then we wouldn't have soil, we wouldn't have fertilizer. And we're going to go grab ourselves some fertilizer and soil. But oh god, that's rough. But only enough to fill her shelf. And just a stack more to show you something. Show you guys how it all works. Actually, no. So, how we will do it is soil is obviously used less because it's the extra life one. You are only going to need 2 slots filled. So, and that's 10 each. So 20, that's all you need. 20. When it comes to the fertilizer, though, you are going to need to fill in the 3 slots. And fertilizer is, I think, 10. I think it's by all 10, right? Yep, so boom. That's what you're going to need. 2 slots filled of soil and 3 slots filled of fertilizer. And 3, obviously, slots filled of the seeds. Accumulating the entire shelf of 8. Ta-da! Alright, what's up, guys? Okay, so the first thing you will notice if I put the fertilizer on this shelf and the soil on this shelf and give her some money, she'll immediately grab the fertilizer and move it to the shelf. Now, what I have not done, obviously, is set up her. She has her supplies, but she has nothing to do with the supplies. So, you go to each one of the pots, and you set her up with all 8 of them. She needs 8 of them. Another thing you might not realize is drying racks are something you can just do on your own. You don't need anybody else doing them. It just, honestly, takes up more of your time, or more of their things to do, and they can be growing instead. And you can just get Heavenly. You only need 20 to go give around to people, because it doesn't do much except for get customers. After you get them in your clutches, you don't need the Heavenly anymore. So drying racks are really exclusive to wanting to get new customers. So remember that. Alright, so boom, she's already starting to do all that. And I left enough slots open, as you can see. So when the truck gets here, which it did, and now they are different colored, that's cool. That's new as well. I didn't see this before. He's immediately going to start grabbing all the seeds off the truck, bringing them in here. And you'll see this dirty pile of nastiness start to appear as she puts down all these bags. What are you going to do about it? Easy. In my case, at least, I like to hire a cleaner. And they can have 3 trash just in case you are using more, but I'm not going to literally be doing anything crazy in this place, so all I need is the one. Okay, yeah, so he doesn't put it on her shelf. He puts it, because if that shelf had filled more stuff on it, like fertilizer and soil, this would all get fucking jammed back up, and then on these shelves would start getting stacked with things you didn't want as well. So it's better just to always order when you've totally emptied your stock, and then you can come and stock up this entire shelf over here. And since there's no empty slots here, there's no worries. Some more OG. So you buy the OG again, get that first shelf stocked up. Boom. So he'll be here. Next shelf that we're gonna stock up. It's fertilizer. And that. So we'll get that delivered. And I'm going to go do my own quick delivery. 80 and 80. Everything's already starting to grow. Second shelf is for the fertilizer. This is the manual thing you'll always have to do, is come back to the place just to move from shelf to shelf. And it is really not that bad. When you're going from 8 to 8, not that bad at all. Get out of my way. Alright, so there you go. That is your first setup. If you stacked up everything on this side, and you also are going to always make sure that this side's stacked. This side being stacked doesn't actually matter. You just always want to make sure that this stuff is stacked for sure, and in accordance. So these three, if you want to go more, you can go more. I only do the 3, but I do show you that you can have another rack there easily. So what we're going to be starting to do is we're going to grab our racks. Grab all our stuff here. And we're going to start the second part of growing, obviously, which is to have some shelves. For all of your weed to go on. So, destination for these 2. Here. Destination for these 3. Here. And these 3. Here. Of course, there's the faster way to do this, but I don't really care. It doesn't bother me. All 3 there, all 3 there, all 3 there. It's less confusing to me when I know exactly which ones I've pinpointed each location anyways, so there you go. So now she has her destination to put all of any of her ingredients. When she wants to start trimming, all the buds will go in the right direction. And with those 3 shelves in mind, I can now make the 2 packing stations. Really only need the 1 packing station. And that works just like that. That's pretty clean, I'd say. Alright, so then now that we know where all of the weed is being placed, which is, it's gonna be better. It's gonna be better. It's just blue for now because I didn't have the fertilizer when she first started planting. Oh. No, it's just because I don't have her using it. Remember to use your fertilizer, folks. Or whatever else you want to add in. And you want to keep all 10. You actually literally want to keep all of this stacked here until the other shelf entirely runs out. And that's when you immediately order 80 of those. And I guess this is soil now. It doesn't really matter which one goes where, but it seems that soil was ordered first. Dan's Hardware. So soil, wait, what? Yeah, so soil was on top. That's what's up. So you can set up the shelf your own way afterward or before. delivering, that would be the, you could benefit the best from that. So you already know how you have your shelf set up, but it doesn't really matter. All right, so that's that. Now, if you want to have automated deliveries further, you obviously have to make sure the shelves are always stocked, and then the next ones, which is what I'm going to show you, will be for jars. So after that's all stocked up, the next thing to do would be to have a shelf designated for jars and the such. She doesn't have to go that ham either, because she can be doing something else. And this can be she can be putting jars here, and I suck, and baggies here. Yeah, and for you, my good sir, you will have roots, because I want you to grab the weed on this shelf and put it there. The weed on this shelf, and put it here, and grab it off the shelf and put it here. A delivery of 160 baggies. Actually, both. So, yeah, 160 and 160. Technically would be what we want, and we place the order. After we already know that everything else is also filled up. Because he has nowhere else to put it. Check it out. Immediately starts working. She'll grab the jars for him real quick while that happens. I'm just gonna put this all back in the car because we're now done. The automated growing stations have all been set up and everything is all aligned, and you don't have to come here to do anything now except for grab your weed and move delivery stuff over from this shelf to this shelf so that this never gets awkwardly backed up. I think these need water too often for her. She can't even harvest fast enough. So what we're gonna do tomorrow night is we're gonna switch these to the moisture ones because she's dealing with a lot. She's watering too often. Yeah, so you'll see here already, even though I did mess up, I suppose, by putting these ones instead. It's just too quick for weed. Now, if you're growing cocaine, I can suggest this being how you go about it. So, if this helps anybody out anyway at all, this is not the same stuff. I just brought this from another location. If this helps anyone out in any way at all, definitely let me know in the comment section below. And if you want to see any other kind of like tutorials on the game or anything, then yeah, I can definitely do that. I might even do a playthrough, who knows. But as of now, this is it. That's all. I'll see you later.